Vamos lá. Deixa eu pegar o... Ah, mano!
This wasn't supposed to happen
The
again!
memory of her own fate haunts Emma Sloan and fills her with dread. This time, she does as she's told. It's not enough to save her.
Caramba, mano. Nossa, eu detesto quando essas coisas acontecem.
Alice and Barry, my wife and my best friend, are easily the two most important people in my life. And they've never really gotten along with each other. I suppose both of them resent the other's intrusions into what they considered their domain. After I was gone, they maintained an uneasy truce. My book stayed in print, still selling, the licensing machine churned away. She was my wife and controlled the intellectual property. He was my agent and took care of the business. I wish they found more common ground than that.
Ah, aqui ele... Ah, tá. Aqui ele mostra as notas. Que Aí eu consigo contar, tipo, ah, tem tantas. Legal. São meio que 3 capítulos, né? Tá, eu preciso explorar os... Eu achei o corpo aqui nesse aqui da última vez, então eu vou no outro. Eu tô carregado já. Isso é interessante. Só que eu não fui lá no Dinners, né? E quando eu vou checar lá, se eu não me engano, que eles atacam ela. Será que ela tá aberta? Opa!
Okay, people, it's Eddie Rodman here with a few hours to kill, and there's nobody I'd rather spend them with. Nobody else in the whole world. Oh boy, that'll land me in hot water when I get back home, won't it? Well, just in case my wife is listening, and you always are, aren't you, baby? Let me tell you, you are the exception, honey, and the prettiest lady I ever saw to boot. But I'd really like to spend some quality time with you listeners, because, tonight's one of those nights. You're sitting in the studio and you kind of forget how long it's been or what day it is. You just sit here and go through the motions. You might as well have been here forever. You keep talking, but you don't even know what you're saying. It's like you're on automatic. You can't stop the ride and get off. It's times like these that I really wish that somebody would just call in and relieve my boredom. How about it? Anybody? Come on now, help a fella out. Our lines are open.
Ok, né? Ela falou que ela tinha a chave mestra dos quartos, né? Eu poderia abrir todos eles. Deixa eu ir curiar lá, porque vai que, né? Só que não. Mensagem da Tim. Tim, roubando meus créditos. Falando que a minha oferta foi ativada, sendo que eu não tenho. Sendo que eu não uso os dados móveis há muito tempo. Aí, mano, tá aqui tem o guarda-roupa. Aqui não tem nada. Tá a chave.
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true. A weaker man might simply give up, but the champion of light is an expert on destiny. Sometimes the puppet and puppeteer can be one and the same. Mount Redtooth, its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into the endless depths of space. Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether.
O pior é que eu acho que vai fazer esse looping mais uma vez.
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
I better find Dr. Meadows' car. That's where the camera should be.
Ok, né? Maluco. É o quê? Nossa! Cadê o Sombrinha? Que eu não ouvi, né? Também eu fui zezão.
When Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The phenomenon in the sky above her was too fascinating.
Pois é, né? Mano. Ah, era. Beleza, eu vim aqui atrás do... atrás de notas, mas... feio, né? Ó, cadê as válvulas? Tem uma nota pra lá, hein?
After my disappearance, they thought I was dead. I might as well have been. I know it's been 2 years. I know Alice has moved on. I've tried to find a way back to her, back to my life, but escaping the dark place is almost impossible. Time does strange things here, but dreams and radio signals can pierce the veil between the worlds. I catch glimpses and echoes of the world. Sometimes I send messages out. I can only pray that they hear them.
Onde que tá esse da bombinha? Tá aqui em cima, né? Esse palhaço. Show yourself! Canalha. Bom.
The Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't frighten me. But I've survived worse. I can't let them stop me.
A gente não tem tantos assim. Tem mais uma ali, mas eu vou deixar eu pegar depois. Nossa, a quantidade total. Deu. Acho que tem 30, né? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Nossa, eu fico todo bobo quando eu acerto o time. Interessante. Como funciona a mira? Nossa, tem uma página aqui, eu nem tinha um. Ó, tem
There are
31.
places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
E aí, Sombra, qual é a sua? É um pouco diferente, né? Peguei a bateria e aqui tem uma página.
The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
Ah, vamos lá. Pois é, não teve nem chance. Sem chororô. Aqui em cima não parece ter nada. Prontinho. Muito obrigado para quem assistiu.